Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm just going to wait a minute for people to join us. Um, I'm very excited about tonight. We're here for our tea ceremony and our mindful eating meditation. It's going to be very fun. Um, and it's going to be a really great time for us to savor some food and drink and just be together to share in this wonderful community. If you feel like you would like to drop a comment in the comment section just to say hello, please feel free to do so. Say hello and let us know you're here, that you're ready. Maybe if you've brought some food to enjoy for our mindful eating in a minute, you can write in the chat box what you are bringing for to enjoy for our mindful eating portion. Um, I would love to hear that. Um, yeah, so just waiting for a minute for people to pop on. My name is Jenny Z, and I've been doing mindful meditation at the Uxbridge Library since August of 2019. And every month we have a different focus, and we meet twice a month. And it's mostly a meditation that's focused uh, on the teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk. He's still with us, and he has such beautiful teachings for us. He has a wealth of knowledge to share with us. He is a wonderful river guide, somebody who's been down the river before and wants to guide us in a mindful way of life, so that we don't waste one single moment, that we are enjoying the presence of the present tense. So, with that being said, I would love to share a poem to start. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh. He wrote it in 2012. It's called The Tea Ceremony, which is pretty fitting for today, and our time together here. He writes, "You must completely be awake in the present to enjoy the tea. Only in the awareness of the present can your hands feel the pleasant warmth of the cup. Only in the present can you savor the aroma, taste the sweetness, appreciate the delicacy. If you are ruminating about the past or worrying about the future, you will completely miss the experience of enjoying the cup of tea. You will look down at the cup and the tea will be gone. Life is like that. If you are not fully present, you will look around and it will be gone. You will have missed the feel, the aroma, the delicacy, and the beauty of life. It will seem to be speeding past you. The past is finished. Learn from it and let it go. The future is not even here yet. Plan for it, but do not waste your time worrying about it. Worrying is worthless. When you stop ruminating about what has already happened, when you stop worrying about what might never happen, then you will be in the present moment. Then you will begin to experience joy in life." So today we are finding ourselves here together today, having an opportunity to practice mindful sitting, mindful eating, and mindful tea drinking, um, while we share in this virtual time together. If we were together in the physical sense, we would be able to share a cup of tea. And so that is why I've asked for you to bring two cups, so that we may serve our friends or our neighbors, so that we can visualize ourselves as if we were sitting in a circle all together and enjoying this cup of tea. And for this 50 minutes, I invite you to just let the technology drop away. Just allow yourself, your mind, to forget that you're looking at a screen and really just be with me and be with the rest of the people that are tuning in today and really enjoy this beautiful Sangha. Sangha means mindfulness community. Enjoy this wonderful Sangha time that we have together. So I would like to start us off with a sitting meditation. For those of you that are new to sitting meditation, the goal is not to clear your mind and have an empty mind. It is to navigate whatever comes up for you in the present moment and to aspire to stay in the present moment and be in true relationship with whatever that means for you. If a troubled thought comes through your mind, noticing that troubled thought, hello, I know you are there, and I am happy. And just seeing that thought just trail across your awareness, just like a cloud moving in the sky. So I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable position for your body. Maybe sitting down feels comfortable for you with your spine upright and your neck just playing with where it feels right, maybe tilted forward or back, or just figure out what feels good for your body right now. If your body feels like it's in a lot of pain sitting down, maybe lay down. Maybe that's best. But I'd like to encourage you to have an awareness that's somewhere between wakefulness and restfulness. So being a little bit alert and maybe not allowing yourself to drift off into sleep. Having that alertness to your awareness. I'm going to invite 3 sounds of the bell. And the bell is a sound that evokes the feeling of coming back to our true selves, our bodies, our minds, the present moment, to just come back and listen to the sound of the bell. And it reminds us of our true home. I'm going to start with a guided meditation and then flow into a short sitting silent meditation. Focusing on the breath, nice and easy. In and out, deep and slow. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. We send our hearts out along with the sound of the bell. May all who hear it awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath from its very beginning to its very end. Breathing out, I follow my out breath from its very beginning to its very end. In, out, beginning, end. Breathing in, I stop and calm my body. Breathing out, I rest and begin to heal. Stopping, calming, resting, healing. So we'll sit in silent meditation for the next couple of minutes until the next sound of the bell. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just allowing your mind to quiet. Maybe inviting a small and soft smile on your face. Enjoying this practice of sitting. I'm going to invite the small bell for stretching and massage. We'll have another short sit at the end of our time together. Before I start talking about mindful eating, I would love to share a video with you. Let's see. I don't know how to do this. Maybe I can't share. I don't think I can share my screen with you. No. Well, the video I was going to share with you is a video of Sister Jewel, who's a monastic in the Order of Interbeing tradition, and she is teaching children how to mindfully eat. It's such a wonderful video, and I can put it in the comments after the live is over. But this video is just really wonderful. The children are exploring all of the different sensations and feelings and tastes and all the sensory information that they're getting from enjoying these lovely morsels of food that they're eating. And also, Sister Jewel is talking to them about all the different things that we can consider when we're eating. We can consider how, if we're eating an orange, how that orange came to be in our hands so that we may enjoy eating it, how it was grown in the ground from the farmer who planted the seeds, and how he or she harvested this orange, and how this orange made it to the market to be sold, and all the conditions that needed to be present for this orange to make it to our hands. So that when we look at an orange, we see so much more than the orange. We see all of the conditions that made the orange possible. So I would like to read some passages from Thich Nhat Hanh's book that he wrote with Lillian Cheung. And this book is called Savor, and it's all about mindful eating. And Dr. Cheung is actually a registered dietitian, so she also wrote some things in addition to Thich Nhat Hanh's mindfulness contributions. And it's just a really wonderful book to consider. Um, all the things, I was very surprised at a lot of the things that were written in the book that I didn't even consider when I would eat my food. Um, so the first, there's 7 things, or I'm sorry, there's 6 things here. Is the first one is honor your food. Honor your food and honor all of the things that, all the conditions that had to be present in order for the food to get to your plate. The second is to engage all of your senses with your food, your taste, your sight, the sense of smell. Look at the beauty of the food, how beautiful it is, all the colors, the texture of the food, maybe the sound of the food, maybe your food crunches or squishes or is a juicy orange. Um, the third is to be mindful of portion sizes. Um, she says that we should start with a modest amount and use a plate that's no larger than 9 inches so that you know how much you're eating. She says research shows that the bigger the plate, the more that one will eat. Number 4 is chewing, and this is a really big one. Thich Nhat Hanh has famously said, or I think it's famous because I think it's just so remarkable, that Thich Nhat Hanh says that he chews milk, that milk could be a whole meal in it of itself, and that he just really savors the milk so much that he literally tries to chew it by he's swishing it in his mouth. And he's also said that it's crucial to chew every bite of food between 20 and 30 times. And there's a reason for that. And so number 4 says chewing helps us to digest our food when using the enzymes in our saliva. And saliva is produced by chewing. And the taste comes from it. It comes from the taste of our food. It comes from being in our mouths. It comes from sitting on our taste buds for a little while. And once we swallow it, we no longer taste it. So he's saying, enjoy the food in your mouth for a little bit longer. Hold the food there so that you can savor the taste. And you also have time to produce that saliva. The saliva will help break down the food and it will make your digestion a lot easier. Number 5, eat slowly. And when we eat slowly, it allows us to enjoy the food. It tastes better. And we eat less when we taste our food deeply. And the last one is do not skip meals. If we eat dinner, we eat much more than if we ate small meals throughout the day. So it's just about eating little spurts of meals throughout the day, so that we're not starving and could potentially overeat. Um, right before we start to dive in, oh, hi, Tori. I see that you commented there. Welcome. Anybody too, if you want to comment, just go ahead and comment in the box to let us know that you're there, and let us know what kind of food you've brought to the mindfulness meditation today. Um, I personally have 3 things. I made the dish all pretty. If I turn it, you're gonna see it drop. But I have watermelon, bananas, and dark chocolate with almonds and sea salt. Now that is going to delight the senses, right? Um, so before we start with our eating, I would like to read something called the 5 Contemplations. And this is read before every meal at every retreat that you attend in the Thich Nhat Hanh tradition, whether it's at a formal monastery. There are 3 monasteries in the United States in the Plum Village tradition. Um, there's one in California, one in upstate New York, and one in Mississippi. And then there's a total of 13 monasteries in the Plum Village tradition all over the world, but there's 3 in the United States. And all of them will read the 5 Contemplations before eating, every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The 5 Contemplations. This food is the gift of the whole universe, the earth, the sky, numerous living beings, and much hard and loving work. May we eat and live in mindfulness and gratitude so as to feel worthy to receive this food. May we recognize and transform unwholesome mental formations, especially our greed, and learn to eat with moderation. May we keep our compassion alive by eating in such a way that reduces the suffering of living beings, stops contributing to climate change, and heals and preserves our precious planet. We accept this food in order to nurture our personhood, to build our Sangha, and to nourish our ideal of serving living beings. So another thing I would like to introduce is the idea of gathas, Gathas. They are short stanzas, a phrase, if you will, that will help us in meditation, whether it's and it's to help us in meditation in our daily life. So if we want to walk, we have gathas for walking. If we are eating, we have gathas for eating. For brushing our teeth, for using water. And there are no prescribed gathas. These are just gathas that Thich Nhat Hanh has created. But you can make up your very own gatha. It's just a way to remember to be mindful. So if you have your food, bring your food to your awareness now. And just look at the plate of food before you eat it. So I'd like to invite you to look at your plate of food, and I'll read the gatha for looking at the plate of food before eating. Beings all over the earth are struggling to live. I aspire to practice deeply so that all may have enough to eat. And so I'd like to invite you, I have my cloth napkin here. I'd like to invite you to just take your first bite of food. Like just take your first bite that you're going to take and hold it in your hand. And so I'd like to invite you to just take it in with all of your senses. Don't eat the food yet, but just look at the food. Feel the food in your hand, in your fingers. Maybe take a smell, take a whiff of the food. Maybe think about what are the conditions that needed to be present in order for this food to be in your hands right now. Then go ahead and take your first bite. Just hold that first bite on your tongue for a minute. Really let that taste sink into your taste buds. Really savor this first bite of food. Feel it crunch if it crunches. Feel it soft if it's soft. And I'll read this other gatha. It's called Beginning to Eat. With the first mouthful, I practice the love that brings joy. Go ahead and take your second bite. With the second mouthful, I practice the love that relieves suffering. And go ahead and take your third bite. With the third mouthful, I practice the joy of being alive. And go ahead and take your fourth mouthful. With the fourth mouthful, I practice equal love for all beings. And so let's pretend that we have an empty bowl right now. And this is the gatha for when the plate or bowl is empty. My plate is empty. My hunger is satisfied. I am determined to live for the benefit of all beings. That gatha is very similar to something in the practice that the Order of Interbeing has, as something called sharing the merit. That at the end of our practice, whether it's by ourselves or with all people, other people that are practicing with us, we share the merit, we share the benefits of the practice, and we dedicate it to the whole world, to all beings, so that they may share in the same benefits that we get from our own practice. And that is the hope that we hold for all beings. I think that's so beautiful. So now's the time when we can mindfully drink tea together. I have my little teapot here. So I've asked everybody to bring 2 cups, because if we were sitting in a circle and we were having our tea ceremony, what we would do is the person that has the kettle would bow to their neighbor, and their neighbor would bow to them. And the person with the kettle would fill their neighbor's cup full of tea. And then they bow again. And then the person who had their teacup filled would take the kettle from me and then also do the same thing all the way around the circle. So eventually my cup will be filled by my neighbor over here. So let's do that. Let's bow to one another and act as if I'm going to fill your teacup full of tea. And then we can pretend that we are also our neighbor. And we can bow to each other and we can pour our own cup. So let's bow together. And then I'm going to pour you your tea. Oops. Dripped. And then I'm going to bow to you again and pour my tea. So go ahead and pick up your tea and hold it in your hands. Feel the heat from this cup of tea. Look at the tea. Look at the color of the tea. Maybe it's clear, or maybe it has a color. Take a smell. Smell your tea. Mine smells fruity. I picked, what did I pick? A white tea. It's a grape, like a white grape tea. And just allow that nice heat to penetrate through the glass, through the cup, and into your hands. Let's think about our tea for a second. Think about all the conditions that needed to happen in order for this tea to come to our hands. The grower had to grow the tea leaves, to harvest them, to dry them, to send them to the packaging. The sun, the wind, the rain, all the elements that happened to help grow all the tea. The checker at the store, the worker that stocked the shelves. You picked up the tea at the store, you put it in your car, you drove it home. You put the tea kettle on, you filled it with water. Where did that water come from? It came down from the mountains or deep within the earth. And then we steeped the tea bag in the hot water. And then we poured it into our cup lovingly. And then I poured you a cup. And now we're both enjoying this tea together. And we're inhabiting the present moment. We're drinking our tea. We're not drinking our anxiety or our sorrow or our past or our future. We're just sitting here together and we're enjoying a cup of tea. And let's take a sip. Swish that sip around in your mouth. What does it taste like? Hold it on your tongue. Really taste your tea. Feel the warmth trail down your throat into your belly. I guess I chose a chai because it's a little bit spicy. The spice is lingering on my tongue. It's very nice. Hmm. When we look at the tea, we see a cloud. Why do we see a cloud? Well, we see the cloud because we see the rain that comes from the cloud. We see the cloud that's full of water, and then we see our cup that's full of water, and that there is no separation, and that we can say that we see a cloud in our tea. So, for the next 5 minutes, we'll enjoy a final sitting meditation. This meditation will be silent. If you need to move your body while you're sitting, feel free to do so, but just have this beautiful pointed, one pointed focus to feel uh, at attention, to focus your attention on the present moment, and just keeping in mind that there's nowhere to go and nothing to do, just inhabiting this present moment. And what a joy it is to be able to sit and rest and heal. I'll invite the bell 3 times. I'm going to invite the small bell for stretching and massage. I bow to you, my friends. Dear friends, dear Sangha, thank you so much today for your practice. I hope that you'll continue to enjoy and mindfully eat all of your food that you carefully prepared for yourself today. Um, and I hope that this is just the start of um, a dialogue, a beautiful relationship between yourself and all of the food and drink that you choose to consume. And yeah, I'm sharing the merit, the benefit of our practice here together. May all beings benefit from our practice here today. We have future dates coming up. I wrote it in the description of this live. Our next is July 30th. We are going to be practicing Thich Nhat Hanh's reconciliation practice called Beginning Anew. You won't want to miss that one. That is wonderful. There's, 4 steps to what he says can be a very deep um, reconciliation practice. Even if it's just to reconcile something inside of your own self, it doesn't have to be with another person. August 6th, we're going to continue our study of Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Anger. We're going to be reading chapter 8, which is about habit energies of anger. August 13th, we're going to be looking at the 5 mindfulness trainings. I know that we've done that before, but we're going to look at them again. And September 3rd and 17th, please save the dates. We have not discovered we haven't decided upon a topic for those 2 dates yet, but we definitely have nailed down those dates as definite. So I also may experiment with doing a Zoom practice and also live broadcasting it on Facebook next time. So be on the lookout for that announcement on the Uxbridge Library Facebook page. And again, thank you so much for your practice. I hope you have a really great weekend. Take care.